With Ireland's economy in such a mess, we're all looking for a way to make Ireland great again, to get our country back to work. Well, in this episode, we're going to look at some very real and practical ways to do just that.
The world is changing faster than anybody realises. We've seen oil move from $70 a barrel last September to $100 a barrel today.
If the oil and gas prices reach values of $150, $200 per barrel, then Ireland will not recover in the next 15 years. So it's extremely serious. So it's time for action.
Yes, this is a challenge to the government or to the community for the future, but actually this is a huge business opportunity.
Over the last 2 years, despite the recession, some $300 billion worth of investment were made in the clean energy sector. That represents the single largest, fastest growing international industry into which Ireland can export its technologies and its clean energy development.
We just have to think outside the box. The new government is going to be faced with a big choice straight away. Are we going to continue to be the cork bobbing around on the ocean? Or are we going to take our own destiny into our own hands and put people to work here?
There's lots of talk about the rising costs of fuel and how we spend billions of euro every year importing oil, gas and coal. The thing is, if we really wanted to, we could be nearly entirely self-sufficient. And part of the solution is here, all around us, cow shit, and Ireland is full of it.
Green energy has become one of the most important growth sectors in the global economy, and experts are convinced that Ireland can play a crucial role in the market.
2/3 of the planet is covered with water, right? Ireland is an island. So theoretically, as you start generating, there doesn't have to be a limit. Anything that's coming from the offshore wind or wave or water is totally limitless. So can Ireland become a major producer of energy? Yes, it can. And it really kind of depends what the people want and what the government want and whether they can put all the elements in place to start harvesting that energy.
The whole world is looking at wind and renewables as the future and replacing fossil fuels and oils. It's cheaper, it's more reliable, it's available on our doorstep, and we have much more of it than other European countries.
In fact, we have amongst the strongest wind and wave resources in the world. Only the southern tip of South America, the southern tip of New Zealand and the west coast of Ireland have the strongest resources in the world.
The European supergrid will transform this country, but we need to have people starting to make the decisions today. In 20 years' time, we'll be past the post. They'll be taking energy from elsewhere and we'll have missed the boat.
If you ask an investor today, would you invest your money in a wind farm in Ireland or in UK? Then you get a simple answer, UK, because the feed-in tariff is higher, and so the return on investment for these people is more attractive in UK and other countries.
In the last year alone, 15 major manufacturing companies have set up operations in the UK. Clipper, Multibrid, Siemens. Ireland is not attracting that in.
We have a huge number of private investors, up to 14 billion worth of investment waiting to come into the Irish sector, from private companies, from foreign banks, from pension funds, waiting to invest in this country.
We need visionary thinking from the new government just in place. We need the signals to go out there that Ireland is open for business.
Why is Ireland far behind? For me, there is no reason. Projects are realized all over the world for this technology, so just let's do it.
If we are going to lead the world in this regard, we have to put meat on the bones. We have to make it happen with practical policies, and real money has to be diverted to this instead of spending it on imports, which are going to be used in other countries to make them rich.
Ireland's future is, right now, quite literally up for grabs. We have to rebuild our economy anyway. Going green could be our lifeline, the perfect solution.